Welcome to What's the Story? My name is Janice Hermsen, and I'm your host. And just really glad to be back. We've been away for a couple of weeks, had some, stuff happening around the world here and in the studio, and so had a couple weeks off, got a little vacation.
No kidding.
Everybody needs a little vacation.
That's right.
Today we have Jacci Turner, who is the author of Tree Singer, joining us. Welcome, Jacci.
Thank you. So good to be here.
Yes, and Jacci and I have known each other for a very long time. She was around when we did our book blasts.
That's
and
right.
We may get those going again sometime soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, they were fun. They were a lot
of fun.
Yeah. We used to get some pretty good crowds here in the mall sometimes, and we did different events, different places.
Yep. Those were the days, huh?
Well, back when we had sheeple.
We have word of the day, and today our word of the day is sheeple.
Sheeple.
Yes, I like sheeple. That's a good word, yes.
I've been seeing it.
I'm sure.
It was relevant.
Very relevant. Yes, so if you've not joined us before, What's the Story is your go-to show for information, current events, entertainment, authors, and entrepreneur interviews with a variety of hosts. Normally we have more than just Ed and me.
Yeah, we're good today.
I mean, we're it.
That's what I said. We're good today.
Yes.
Who needs more? I'm wondering.
Well, we do sometimes.
Sometimes we do. We need help. So we just try and keep that energy up and bring you some local topics and things from around the world, books and authors, and just a real nice variety of things to talk about. Next week, we actually have a wonderful interview with Maria Zack. It's going to be our conspiracy week because Maria Zack is sometimes considered a conspiracy individual. So she's kind of like all about that Italy gate when the,
Does she use the word sheeple?
I don't know. We'll ask her, though.
Okay.
So I think it's important that we incorporate it to her vernacular.
Yes, well, sheeple's a good word, though, so we'll probably go into it a little bit more later, but because Doug is he's the author of Heroes and Giants, and he usually looks everything up. He's a great researcher, and so we rely on him to look things up, but since he's not here, I decided to look it up. Do you know that in 1945 is when this became a word?
No.
Sheeple? Yeah, I know. Isn't that something?
New.
I did too, yes, but it says that 1945 in the meaning defined above, and they give me 4 or 5 different meanings, so I'm not quite sure which one they mean.
So are they looking at the German people in this case?
I don't know, maybe. People who are docile, compliant, or easily influenced. People likened to sheep. James Nichols, who ran the family farm here, stamped dollar bills with red ink in protest against currency and told his neighbors they were sheeple for obeying authority like livestock, which actually kind of still makes sense, right?
So best I know, livestock doesn't listen. But, yes.
But they're herded.
Well, right. They follow food.
They do.
True.
They do. Well, let's see. Sheeple.
We've got donuts.
Look at me.
We have donuts. I have a variety of donuts here. That was actually a very nice client of ours comes in, and when he comes in, he brings donuts or something.
So over under, how many will be left at the end of the show?
Oh, I'm going to guess maybe 2 if we're lucky.
Right. So I have a goal now.
So we know we're
right. I have a goal.
5. Yes.
It depends on if Lisa, who's coming in the second hour, and if Jacci decides to maybe have a donut. I know that Jay's not going to partake, but
What?
Look at her. No.
She so wants one, though, doesn't she?
She's
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not?
I'm with her.
I know. So as I said, we have Lisa Printup, who will be with us in the second hour. She is the representative for SpotOn. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Wow.
But yeah, we're on this.
Yes, you
We're
are.
on this. Next week we've got Steve Barry, who's going to be on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We talked before.
Yes, we have.
I know him.
You know him. Oh, well, he knows him better than I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
What can I say? So yeah, the Maria Zack thing, though, I think is going to be very interesting. Do you know the story
No.
of what she? Oh,
I was-
maybe a little teaser here.
I was going to say every show is pseudo conspiracy.
I know it is when we're talking, right? So she, I'm trying to find something that would. She's with Nations in Action. That's her organization, and basically the theory is there was a supposed, and I can't say that I know this for sure, but supposedly there was someone in Italy that testified that they actually did steal the election. So that's where that lies, and I'll probably get shut off of Facebook now. That's happened to us before, so it wouldn't be the first. She says, yes, we actually were told that 400 million, 14 pallets were rerouted to another country to Merrill Lynch. This is the Barack Obama thing. Account for President Barack Obama to use as his own money. So basically that would be stealing 400 million. This is one of the things that she talks about. This one I'm actually not real familiar with. The one that I am familiar with, she did a whole video on talking about what happened and how the Vatican was also involved in this whole thing with the election. So it's truly a conspiracy theory. I get it. But you know what? I am looking forward to having that interview. She's going to be on the 5 o'clock hour next week, and she's going to share what she knows, and we'll ask some very informed questions because I've been following this for a while. And I was pleased that she was willing to come on the show and talk to us. And
Awesome.
so
Well, I wonder what they're going to do with all those ballots that were shipped to another country, right? Do you power your power plants with U.S. ballots?
I don't know.
I think you might.
What if you run out of toilet paper?
Well,
There
right,
you
that's
go. I
right.
love it.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, we'll be right back. You're listening to What's the Story. Stay with us.
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to lrpnv.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to lrpnv.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Bookhound Radio Show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Man in the Map, does every week. Just go to lrpnv.com. That's lrpnv.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, you want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Wake up, the sun below. Got another road to sow. Let the fire feel the hope swelling up from the depths of my soul.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story. I'm Janice Hermsen. I'm your host here today with Ed Noel and our very special guest, Jacci Turner, who is the author of The Tree Singer. I had to look. I couldn't remember. I knew it was tree. I'm like, tree what?
Something.
Yes, well, you're always by a tree, too.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
So, yeah, tree whisperer.
Yeah.
Yes, she is kind of. Yeah.
I
love
got
trees.
that.
Yeah.
Trees are great. I miss it so much.
Aw.
Yeah, it's been a year since I've got to hug a tree.
Oh. that's
Sagebrush
terrible.
isn't quite the same.
It really can't
No,
kind of
it-
hit the mark,
No.
you know.
So it leaves a little bit with you.
Yeah.
Right? Sagebrush likes to spread out.
It leaves a mark.
It does. It does indeed. It burns
very
pretty
true.
good, though, when it's
Yeah.
dry.
Well, one of the things that we do at LaRue and on What's the Story is we talk a lot about censorship because it's such an important topic and something that has been so prominent in social media, in books that are getting banned, and I mean, every author wishes their book would be banned because then they become bestsellers.
Yeah, hello.
You don't write the right kind of books to
I
get
know,
banned.
I
No,
know.
yours are good. They're not controversial. I shouldn't say
Right.
they're just not controversial, which is good, right?
You never
Sometimes
know.
need that.
Depends
That's
on
true.
who's looking.
Oh, boy, isn't
guess-
that the
That
truth?
is true, though, really. And so I pulled up a story about Supreme Court Justice Thomas, who is suggesting that Facebook and Twitter could be regulated like utilities, which I thought was rather interesting. I had heard this a while back, that because of the kinds of platforms that they are, they're making themselves be like publishers by censoring, right? And Section 230 of our, I'm not sure which law or which code it's in. However, Section 230 does prevent us from suing them. So because they're a platform as opposed to being a publisher. So that's why you kept hearing in the last administration them saying, hey, cut out Section 230 because, if you do that, then these guys become publishers and everybody can sue them. However, during all the hubbub that was going on, especially with Twitter, I did hear, I think it was Candace Owens, who sued Twitter, or was started to sue Twitter because they were preventing her from posting certain things which were true, and they were saying they were false. So somehow she managed to get back on. So it can happen. So I guess they listened despite the fact that they weren't supposed to be able to be sued. So Justice Thomas appeared to signal that big tech firms could be regulated after Facebook and Twitter suspended President Donald Trump earlier this year. This is actually from 2021, so I don't know why they're saying earlier this year. Thomas considered, I guess maybe it was at the beginning of 2021.
maybe.
I thought it was later than that. Thomas, considered a conservative on the High Court, made the point during a 12-page submission as the Supreme Court issued an order that rejected a lawsuit over Trump's blocking of certain Twitter users from commenting on his posts before his account was taken down. The Supreme Court said the lawsuit ultimately should be dismissed as he wasn't in office anymore. So,
Oh, yeah, I read that today.
isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was too. And I think it was a 9-0 ruling. I think that they all agree.
What?
How rare is
That
that, right?
doesn't happen.
So as Twitter made clear, the right to cut off speech lies most powerfully in the hands of private digital platforms. The extent to which that power matters for purposes of the First Amendment and the extent to which that power could lawfully be modified raises interesting and important questions. So Thomas noted that big tech firms have a vast amount of power over the flow of information, even books. And that's true because Amazon keeps burying books and rejecting and banning them, sometimes quietly, not like really loudly, and so you don't know until you go to look and it's not there. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
there was one that was controversial, not because it was about transgender, but it was really just talking about transgender in terms of educating people. And it did have the position that they did not feel that children should be able to make that choice, that it should be done at an older age. It had been on the platform for probably a year or two, and then suddenly they banned it. And I thought, well, if you're going to ban it, it should have already been banned a long time ago.
Yeah, that's strange.
So yeah. Well, I object to all banning.
So
Whether I agree with it or not.
liberals ban things that should be open and have things open that should be banned.
You think?
They're bass backwards.
Can you make that generalist? I'm going to argue with you about this.
Okay.
Can you make that generalist statement? You just said liberals. If I'm a liberal, am I not going to be offended by that statement?
So maybe, but you're also going to have a cause like homeless dogs that you're going to like pursue to the nth of the world.
Stereotypical today.
I am, but it fits, right? There's one time. So they're going to be a one cause thing on world causes, right? But when it comes to truth,
because Doug's not here, that's why you're taking this position. You went the independent route. Now you're back to being that conservative route.
So it does matter what group you're in.
Okay.
Doug not being here does kind of matter.
Doug's usually the conservative.
Doug usually
He's
jumps
more
on
of an
that, and then I
independent.
get to hang back and attack him. But he's not here, so I'm taking the role.
I gotcha. All right.
Well, I can hold down the liberal side of the table since
Yeah.
I'm all alone over here.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Cool.
got to have a side.
That's
It's
right.
cool.
I'm usually the independent. So,
there we go.
but then he became independent, so I was like, where do I go? So I went more liberal.
There you go.
So who knows what will be unveiled during the show?
I know. It'll be very interesting. All right. So we were talking about Justice Thomas, and he noted that they have a vast amount of power, even in books. He said that it does not matter that Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, and others are not the only ways in which to distribute speech, as long as their power to do so is unequaled. I'm not sure I even understand what that means.
No.
So don't you
unequaled.
think they can just roll back the clock about, I don't know, you'd have to catch me on time frames, but this is the same stuff they said about newspapers when they gave out. Big city newspapers, right? There's one of them. Many cities kind of had two, right?
Or not enough of them, yeah.
Right, so there was one voice, there was no TV,
right,
there was just,
right.
it's the exact same arguments.
Well, that's a good that's a good thing to say. All right, a person also always could choose to avoid the toll bridge or train and instead swim the Charles River or hike the Oregon Trail, he wrote. But in assessing whether a company exercises substantial market power, what matters is whether the alternatives are comparable. For many of today's digital platforms, nothing is. I would agree with that.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it's been as a publisher, one of our big complaints is you don't have many options. When you're looking at, do you go on Amazon or not? That is not a question.
Right.
If you're not on Amazon,
You're not selling books.
That's right. That's right. And so when Amazon starts banning books, my inclination is not to use Amazon.
But what's left, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the question.
I had to take my books off other platforms just because they weren't selling at all.
Right.
So I could try the Amazon KDP feature, which you can't do if you're on other platforms.
Exactly.
It's a
Well,
catch-22.
and then when you try to use Ingram, there are certain things you can't do. That's a distributor. And there are certain things you can't do if you've already used Amazon that you can't do contractually with Ingram because if you're already having a contract with Amazon. So it gets very complicated and difficult.
Yes.
When all you want to do is sell your book.
That's right.
I mean, it's really from the consumers or from the author standpoint or the publisher, the small publisher standpoint, all we really want to do is sell the book.
That's right.
You know, we don't need all of this, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, we have to deal with all of this. So it's kind of sad.
It is.
The other thing that is controversial, and you'll like this one, is Ron DeSantis apparently he's the governor of Florida, and he was either questioned. I don't think that he was actually on 60 Minutes, was he? Did you happen to see that?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think he was actually on, but they talked about him on 60 Minutes. And what they did was they played what he said, but they omitted a number of the sentences he used. And I'm all for editing for time.
Right.
I get all of that. But it was really pertinent. The information that they left out was pertinent. And the interesting part of this story, because of course, they went back and forth. The reporter and Ron DeSantis went back and forth. The basic issue was that a company called Publix, which is a grocery store in Florida, gave money to Ron DeSantis. Mm-hmm. The story is that then Ron DeSantis gave favorable treatment to them when it came to distributing or having the vaccinations done.
Yeah, they're kind of a CVS.
Right, okay.
Big.
Yeah,
I mean, with
but
a
they do
CVS
food.
with a grocery.
Food, pharmacy, liquors, all that.
Yeah.
So, but the thing that was interesting about it is that there was a Democrat by the name of Jared Moskowitz who slammed 60 Minutes over the segment, saying that DeSantis' office did not push for selecting Publix. And that Moskowitz is the director of Florida's Division of Emergency Management and has overseen the state's response to the pandemic, including rolling out the vaccine distribution and ensuring masks get to frontline workers. 60 Minutes, I said this before and I'll say it again. Publix was recommended by the Florida Division of Emergency Management and Florida Department of Health, as the other pharmacies were not ready to start. So Ron DeSantis has, which I think is awesome when I see somebody from the other side, it's just telling the truth. Mm-hmm. It's not a matter of defending the other side. It's a matter of just telling the truth, and I think that's awesome. So I wanted to mention it. All right. We got to go. We got to take a break here, but we're going to be back. We're going to talk with Jacci a little bit more. And you're listening to What's the Story. We'll be right back.
Are you a skilled diesel mechanic looking for a great place to work with dynamic pay, health insurance, 401k, and other great benefits? Dynamic Diesel is looking for qualified full-time journeyman diesel mechanics to work Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. with weekends off. Plus, Dynamic Diesel offers a friendly family work environment. You'll love coming to work every day in their state-of-the-art shop. To apply, stop by 2080 East Gregg Street in Sparks or call 359-4477. Dynamic Diesel is an equal opportunity employer.
Have you, a friend, or family member been diagnosed with cancer? Dr. Forsyth at the Forsyth Cancer Care Center offers an all-inclusive program to treat adult types of cancer. The Forsyth Immune Protocol Cancer Treatment Plan, in a current prospective study of over 6.5 years and 1,200 adult cancer patients, has produced a remarkable 30 times greater survival statistic when compared to conventional full-dose chemotherapy. Greater than 95% of all their patients choose low-dose insulin-potentiated life chemotherapy, using only 10 to 15% chemotherapy dosing with insulin. Dr. Forsyth has long been considered one of the most respected physicians in the United States, particularly for his treatment of cancer and the legal use of human growth hormone. Located in Reno, Nevada, Dr. Forsyth has seen patients from all over the world. To schedule your consultation today, call 775-827-0707. That number again is 775-827-0707.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? And if you do hear our music when we come back in, that is Susie Hussner at SusieHussner.com. And she's one of our sponsors, and we appreciate her music. Jackie has been on the show before, pre-Susie, and she mentioned the music, so I thought I should give her another plug.
She mentioned the music like 3 times.
I know.
Right?
It's much
so
better.
it's impactful. Yeah.
Quite. So, Susie, if you're listening, she likes your music. I'll send her to your website.
Yeah, Facebook would say thumbs up.
That's it.
Right. Two
That's
thumbs up.
it. Oh, 2 thumbs up. There you go. All right. Well, I've been sitting here talking about Jackie Turner, and I pulled up your new bio, Jackie, because it's different, and I liked it.
Oh, thank you.
So
I can't remember what it says, but
you
thank
can't remember what it says, and now I'm not going to be able to find it, right? That's what's going to happen to me.
Is it on the back of the book? I don't know.
No, I don't think. Oh, I don't know. Is it? You don't know either? Well, let's look. Yes. Yes, it is. All right. So Jackie lives in the Nevada desert with her husband and their dog, Rosie. She loves to escape as often as possible to the redwood forests in California to walk among the giants and find peace.
Yes.
She also loves chocolate, babies, and writing books for readers of all ages.
I
so
do.
I thought that was very cool.
Chocolate, yes.
There's some chocolate
We have
over here.
look. There's commonality even among liberals and
That's right.
conservatives,
That's right. We can
have
meet over
commonality on chocolate, boy. You got me there.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. He's not going to let up, you know.
No, that's fine. I'm good. I haven't been out of my house in a year, so bring it.
Nice.
Good for you. Doug would be proud.
He can listen.
That's right. He will, too. All right. Well, Jackie is an Amazon best-selling author. Her latest book is Tree Singer, but she has many, many more.
Yeah.
Are you now, Tree Singer is a young adult book, correct?
Yes, and it's fantasy, my first fantasy.
Okay. And as somebody who does not read fantasy, I will tell you that I started reading this and I found it engaging, and I found your writing style very different than it had been.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it a lot. Not that I didn't enjoy the other, but that because it was fantasy, I was like, oh, not my deal, right? But I found that I was able to get into it right away. Maybe because it's young adult. Maybe it's easy reading.
Those
It
are
was
my
good for
favorite,
me.
the Hardy Boys, right?
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys.
Most of my readers are older.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, I fit the bill.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it.
All right. So I really did find, though, that it was very interesting, very engaging, easy to grasp the story quickly. It grabbed me.
Nice.
You know, as a publisher, if I saw this, I would say, okay, yeah, let me see the rest.
Nice.
So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you.
Because
I do owe a lot of that to my editor, Louisa Swan. She really pushed me because when you write fantasy and you don't know how, you're like up a creek with no
Well,
paddle.
that's the cool thing about fantasy is there's no limits.
She was like, "Where are we now? Where are we now?" That was her number one question. I'm like, "We're in the forest. How many times can I say that?" So,
well, and that was going to be one of my questions to you because we've published fantasy before, and one of my big things with that particular book was I need a map. I need a map. I have no clue like she
Yes,
said, where we
yes,
are,
yes.
right? I really was struggling with, it's a new world, right? It's not our world.
Right.
So, and I didn't find that. I felt like I was just like in a forest. That's
Yes,
just where I was. So, as I go along, is that going to change? Are we going elsewhere?
Yes, we're going to a castle. And then we're going back into a
I like
forest.
castles. And then we're going back into a forest.
But one of the people that wrote a
Those
review
darn
said I
trees.
could have used a map, and I'm like, dang, I never even thought about a map.
Yeah, that would be the first thing for a fantasy book, I would say, is I
Right.
want a map.
Next
I want to
time.
see.
I
I don't
mean,
read
yeah.
fantasy, so I have to be able to see it, right?
Yeah, and I can't read maps, so I'd have to have help. I don't know.
No one has to anymore.
Yeah, it's true, because, Siri just tells me which way to turn.
Right, yeah. But on a
Siri,
book, it's gonna
Siri
be
is
tough.
yet to get me, but
But Siri's often wrong, too.
That's
so.
true.
What was it in the last show, the show that comes on before me, Teresa's Garage? She was talking about people going through Donner Pass and having to be rescued. And it was so funny because she says, yeah, they use the GPS, right? Just because it says that's shorter, not
it.
necessarily.
Don't do
Did
it.
you never read about the Donner Party?
That's right. They took a shortcut.
That's right. Not so good. Not so good. So tell us about Tree Singer. I've given a little bit of stuff, but not enough for anybody to really know what the book
Right.
is
So it's about a girl who comes from a world where everybody's born with a certain kind of gift, and her family's is helping things grow. So she sings to the trees to help them grow, but she's very young and early in her training. Her mom manages the forest, and she's called on a quest to go find out why the trees are dying, and she feels very upset about that because she didn't want to go. Her mom should have gone, but for some mysterious reason, her mom isn't invited. You don't know until the end why. But yeah, so she's off on this quest to try to figure out what's killing the forests, and it's a quest book, young adult quest story.
Right. And I guess what I would say is what I liked about that intro was the way that you set the characters up, the relationships come out quickly. You kind of recognize who's who in the zoo, because when you're reading a new book, new characters, you're like, am I going to like this? So I found that, engaging and enjoyable.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So what gave you the idea to even write a book like
I
this?
know. You know how I am. I was sitting in my meditation place in California, which I haven't got to be at for a year, staring at the trees. And I don't know, I just thought, what if you could sing to trees to help them grow? I don't even know where the idea came from, of course. That's the way my brain is. And I just thought about it. Wouldn't that be fun? And that's sort of where the story started. I write a lot of books up there, and I haven't been there in a year, but it's just beautiful. California.
And didn't you have a routine when you write that you only wrote on Tuesdays?
I
Do
did.
you still
but
do that?
As you were sharing, the pandemic has opened up a lot more time, and so I wrote 2 books during the pandemic that I'm editing right now. But yeah, and I spent a lot of time editing this one. A lot of time. The hard part is editing.
Oh, it is.
Rewriting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been writing Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays whenever I have time now, so it's great.
So it's more than you used to write. Yeah.
Yep.
And tell everyone what you do. I know you're semi-retired, or
Semi. I'm a
Yeah.
marriage and family therapist, and so I've been working with people on my computer for a year, every Monday and Wednesday. That was really hard at first, my brain, but I'm used to it now, so I kind of like it because I don't even have to wear, real clothes.
So
you don't even have
I
to
have
find
a
your
question
shoes.
on that because I'm kind of an anti-zoomer.
Yeah.
I pick up on people, right, in body language and thing, and over Zoom you don't have those tools at your hand. I feel handicapped.
It is, and you exchange energy with sitting with someone, and you can't do that on the computer.
Right.
Which is why we like having people in studio instead of on Zoom as well.
That was hard. I felt like I was giving all my energy, but not getting anything back at first. But
Totally.
I got used to it.
So do you feel like you can read people still?
Yeah, I mean, I can see them and I can see their expressions, and I do trauma work mostly, so it's, familiar.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Very good.
It is.
Yeah. So how long did this one take to write, Tree Singer?
Well,
how long did it take to write?
Didn't take that long to write, but as we know, it took a lot of time to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite.
So that's all part of the writing.
Yeah. So probably the 3 years altogether. Probably the most time I've ever put into a book. Yeah.
Oh, that's
that was
interesting.
I think my problem when I was just learning was writing too fast and not really, taking my time.
What kind of recommendation could you make to writers that are maybe still in that mode? Because most that come to us are fairly new, not most, but a lot of them are fairly new, and they just want to get it done.
Right. Yeah, and nothing happens fast in the publishing world, as you know.
Thanks, yeah. It's
nothing.
true.
And you have to put your patience hat on. Right?
It's hard.
That, when you take time, you just notice things that you might have missed, and there's different ways you can go back and read. So reading one character and all their lines to make sure that they're consistent as opposed to a different character, make sure they sound different from each other. All those
Reading out loud, too,
Reading
is
out
really
loud
important.
is huge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, taking time. I do a lot of character development because I'm a, therapist. I'm all about
what you do.
personality. Yeah.
Do you outline your characters, or do you,
in my head?
just in your head? You're not like one of those that writes them all out.
I'm a pantser. But I do give them all the Myers-Briggs temperament indicator.
So, are there pictures in your book?
No.
So, do you have like a caricature person or something draw your characters? Do you have them on the wall somewhere?
Yeah, I'm on Pinterest, which you probably aren't, but
I actually have an account. I don't go there, but I got one.
I love it. So yeah, I have a board where I find pictures of people who remind me of my characters and I fill it up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I would love to have fan art where people draw for me. I cannot draw, so.
Yeah, me neither. I think that lovely music from Susie Hester is our cue that we got to take a break, but we will be back with more from Jacci Turner, author of Tree Singer, and we'll talk about her other books too.
Barbecue, the Butcher's Kitchen, would like to thank every customer for your loyalty and continued support through these challenging times. Call for takeout and delivery of rib tips, brisket, ahi, tuna, roasted veggies, and much more. Barbecue's open from 11 to 7, Monday through Saturday, and delivers hot food safe and healthy. Call 499-5855 for details. 499-5855 Barbecue, as featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Get real. Get into Barbecue Reno.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
I know I need to pay attention to my health, but I just can't seem to find the time. Between rushing to work and taking care of the kids, there's not much time left over for me. So I decided to start small by eating more fruits and vegetables and being more active. And then I got the family to make some changes too. We started by keeping a bowl of fresh fruit on the counter, and I limit the amount of sweet snacks I keep in the house. I've also found some creative ways to add more vegetables to our meals. We're taking more walks, and on the weekends, we head down to the pool at the rec center. It doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. You don't have to change your entire life to be healthier. Just make some simple changes and include your family. You'll see how easy and fun it can be.
You can make a difference. Eat smart, play hard. And when you do, your kids will too. A challenge from USDA.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Now she's gone like a little.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I am here today with Ed Noel and Jacci Turner, who is the author of The Tree Singer. It's just Tree Singer,
Tree
not
Singer,
the.
right.
Sorry, I always want to put a the in front of that. Should have had a the.
Ohio State got it. They took all the thoughts.
All right.
Those are missing.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your experience. You got signed with HarperCollins, right?
I did once.
Once. But I think that that's not an unusual experience. That's why I'm
Right,
bringing it
right.
up, because I've actually met a couple of authors that have had the same type of experience. And I'm just really curious, and for our writing audience, that
Right.
maybe if you don't mind sharing.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'll try to be gracious about it.
Oh, I didn't know.
It was actually a small imprint of HarperCollins
Okay.
called Harper Legend, which I don't think exists anymore. It's under Harper One now.
Okay.
But yeah, and they had just started, so they were
That's
open.
what I thought. Right.
Mhm.
They had just opened up when
Yeah.
you got
So
involved in that.
And you didn't have to go through an agent, which you have to with
Right.
HarperCollins, right?
Right.
So they were asking for spiritually transformative fiction, which I had just written. I had just written a book like that, and I'm like, well, that's
Perfect
weird.
timing.
I'll throw that by. And they said, sure, this is perfect. So I think it's because they were brand new and they were just trying to find. But and they were,
Don't diminish yourself. Come
Yeah. Timing
Timing,
is
yeah.
about
Timing.
namaste.
That's
It's about
true.
one,
That's
right?
right. Everything went well until I got my book, which is just a funny story because I think that no matter what you choose in publishing, there's always going to be problems. So you have to learn to
absolutely.
laugh. You have to
Yes.
learn to laugh. But it was a great book, beautiful cover. Open it up, beautiful print. Look on the back. There's the author bio and someone else's picture.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously. And I was like, well, that's not me. So I wrote them. They felt terrible. They, said it was a printing problem. Sent me another batch of
Blame
new
that printer. That's
15
good.
books, right? Open it
you-
up. Still not me.
Someone else?
Same lady. I hope she's a best-selling author.
Seems to me like you should have got her contact and called her and asked her if she wanted to buy the whole
I know.
brand.
I don't know. It was just the first time it was super funny. The second time I was a little bit upset. But other than
Might
that,
be more than a little.
it did make for a great story. And that book still sells, though. So they have.
Do they have your picture on it?
Yeah,
Finally?
yeah, they do. Finally,
They did finally get you.
So that's
Yay.
nice.
Maybe you should have
because-
sent them one. Right?
Yeah.
This is me.
This is for you. This
This
is
is what
me.
you're going to match to.
This is someone much older than me. I don't need to move forward that fast. So, yeah. And a lot of my friends were like, wow, you're not, what happened to you? So that was, yeah.
Oh,
But,
my.
I mean, there were other things. I mean, it's just, either way, it's hard and it's never going to be perfect.
Did
and
they require you to do a lot of marketing? What kind
Yeah,
from that
they-
standpoint?
Yeah, they gave me 3 beautiful memes, pictures that I could share that
Sure.
had quotes from the book. That was my marketing. And so I had to do it all just like I always do.
Right.
And that's what people need to know, that you
Right.
have to be willing to market. As you know, we have to do it all these days. So
Right.
you can't just write a book and you expect that it's going to sell.
Yeah, and I think even because I've talked to best-selling authors,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that they have a rhythm too. Plus, they already have a following, so it makes it a little bit easier for them, even though they have to continue to market. they've already got the presence.
Yes.
So
big time.
creating that presence is not easy.
It's taken me 10 years to really get a good solid base of friends that are willing to help me market. So this
I saw
book
that
has
you have
been
a
better.
big team.
Yeah, I
That's
have
awesome.
a great street team, they
Right.
call it, right? That helped me.
Right.
That
Yeah, if you
whole-
can get a street team, it's good. But you can't always do that.
No.
So at Omega, right, we're building a brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've gone from a small organization, and that's exactly what authors are doing,
Yes,
right?
you have to build a brand.
And building a brand is no small chore.
No.
I mean, I worked in the beverage alcohol company for Josephine Seagram. Everything they had was premium, right? Everything
Yeah.
they had cost more than other things.
Right.
And you got to sell more of, right? And
Right.
stay within the image,
Mhm.
right? It's like, maybe it's like a home that's got a historical, you can't change it, but you got to make it look better.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff, it's hard. Building
is hard.
brands is a challenge of a lifetime.
Well,
Yeah.
and most authors, they want to write. They're
Mhm.
not
They're
interested.
not marketers,
No,
no.
they're not interested in that. And the hardest thing to do is to explain you really have to get out there. You don't have to do everything,
Right.
but you have to pick a couple of things that you think you'll be good at and do those.
Yeah.
And do them consistently.
Consistently, and that's
It's
hard for
huge,
people. I've been blogging for since 2015, every 2 weeks.
And if you don't get
If you don't do it,
response,
yeah.
it's like, well, why am I bothering?
Yeah, crickets.
Right?
right?
Yeah, crickets.
But it gives you search engine optimization. You got your
Right.
name out there. If
Right.
you Google
That's
me,
a really good
my
point.
name is spelled weird, and it really helps. But I got the first 8 pages of Google.
Right, and that tells you a lot right there. I know I'll
8
always
pages.
check. Yeah,
I
no,
get
you-
one line.
I count.
I can
count how
Google
many-
myself. I get one line,
Well,
but I'm
even-
on top.
Even new authors, if they say that they have some kind of platform, that's one of the things that we'll do is we
Oh,
go on
yeah,
and we
you
see
look.
how many pages are they,
Mhm.
and are they really them or is it somebody else? And if they have a name that's, I mean, there's so many things you have to do
Right.
to check.
Got to pick a name that's not John Smith.
Right. And if you have that kind of name, you have to figure out a way to make it unique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's a middle initial
Right.
or two initial, you know, I mean, but you have to mix it up because, you know.
Jan and I have talked multiple times about an author boot camp.
Oh, that would be
Right,
great.
an author
Yeah,
marketing
he wants to
kind
help.
of boot.
That would be-
Yeah, where we get in, where I can be mean. Yeah, go get him, baby, go get him.
No, I teach classes at TMCC for writers,
Right.
and I try to tell them 2 years before you put out your book, you got to be on social media, got to be
They don't
building your
believe you.
brand yourself, not your book, because you might write
Right.
another book or 14 more.
Or something different, a
Right.
different.
Or something different,
Right.
right? My blog is completely different than the books that I write,
Right.
but my name is my name.
Yes. Yeah, and I actually have a website for myself, despite the fact that my book has not yet come out there, but I kept my name there, and it has helped me even with the show. I've had people come to me through my website
Nice.
to ask for a gig on the show.
That's
so,
great.
Cross-pollination.
yeah,
Yes.
it really does. So they probably either forgot the name of the show or
But
whatever,
they knew your name.
but they knew my name, so they said, "Oh, well, we'll go this way."
Yeah.
Right.
That's so important.
It is.
And people
It
don't
really
want to
is.
do it. They just want to be a bestseller.
Right.
I'm like, oh, trust me, it's a lot of work to get anywhere
It is.
near that.
And even picking the correct BISAC codes, the categories.
Right.
Even that is difficult because you kind of have to research that as well. I mean, there's so much
you
research.
can't pick a
and-
really vague,
No.
general,
No.
fantasy. There's 50 million books
Yeah.
like that. So I went down into like tree-friendly
yes.
echo, and bestseller in the tree-friendly echo books.
But you know what?
But it works.
It works.
You can
it
use it.
does. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was real.
Mhm.
It was
It's
not
true.
fake.
Nope.
It was real.
It's
So
true.
that's all good.
Still high in those categories.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's part of the marketing. Isn't so much everybody you think about marketing, you think about getting yourself out there, but it's also how you frame your book. It's how you put a loan together, right?
Right.
I mean, it's all about that.
Yeah.
And so I think I love for authors to be able to hear from another author as opposed to me just preaching, because I preach a lot about this.
Right.
And it's really good to hear, and especially somebody who has been signed, and you can say, well, it was just luck, whatever, but not everybody has that opportunity.
Right.
And to have that experience, to be able to say, yeah, I did it,
Yeah.
And so I have spoken to authors that have been with Simon and Schuster or whatever for a long time, and they don't move into self-publishing, though they might. But they're so branded at that point
Right.
that they can't. So if you have your preference now, and I know, I mean, obviously somebody gives you a contract, you're taking
Right,
it.
right. But I'm also taking it to a lawyer this time.
Ah.
I learned the hard way about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you have that choice, which direction are you leaning at this point?
Well, if there
Based
was
on the fact
somebody
that
that really wanted to offer me some money and, a 3-book contract or something, I would certainly look
Consider
into that
it.
because their distribution is so much bigger.
Gotcha.
And that's why the other book sells, occasionally about a couple times a month. And I'm not out there pushing it. It's because somewhere on some website, HarperCollins is,
Gotcha.
got the book.
So because of their presence, then you have a presence.
Right.
Yeah. And I would agree with that.
It's not the Julia Child method, right? Have you
What's
guys?
that?
So have
No,
you seen her
Julia.
movie?
Yeah.
Well, right, where she's writing the book and all the challenges she has.
Right.
I just watched it recently.
You did.
Oh.
Oh. It was a
Sorry.
while ago.
It was well. I'm a little slow.
Yeah. She was blogging about trying the recipes, right?
Right, and then that other gal in the modern time in the parallel was
Yeah.
trying to please her, and she was still just trying to get her book written. But anyway, it was entertaining dichotomy.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll take your word for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, so isn't that the movie of the week? Julia
It
Child.
might be at this point.
It is,
because
I
you've
think.
run out of other things to watch.
There we go.
Because we've all been.
Oh my gosh. I have watched every British detective show apparently in the world.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're
And
so
I
good.
finished Twin Peaks last night.
Oh.
Very last episode.
Wow. Talk about old school.
Yeah. He's going. All right. Well, we are going to have to take this break. I want to thank you very much for being with us, Jacci.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Such
Nice
a pleasure.
meeting you.
Very nice meeting you. Wonderful.
All right. We'll see you after the break.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General, at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve difficult and trying personal problems every day on my TV show, but there's one problem that's just got me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. That's 1 in 5 kids who may not know where their next meal is coming from, despite the fact that there's more than enough healthy, nutritious food out there to feed them all. Now, I don't know about you, but that is unacceptable to me. Luckily, the Feeding America network of good people is out there collecting surplus food and giving hope to hungry children and their families at local food banks all across the country. But let's face it, they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
This is America Matters Media Radio, heard worldwide on the web at americamatters.us and on KCKQ 1180 AM, Reno.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
President Biden is calling on Georgia to smarten up.
The president stopping short of saying the Masters golf tournament to be held this week should join Major League Baseball's All-Star game and pull out of the state. Biden also noting the unfortunate side of such decisions that could cost hourly wage earners money.
It is reassuring to see that for-profit operations and businesses are speaking up about how these new Jim Crow laws are just antithetical to who we are. I think it's a very tough decision for a corporation to make.
Biden receiving a 4 Pinocchio rating from the Washington Post for his claim that the new Georgia law was decreasing the capacity to vote. It actually expands early voting. The Dow closing down 97 points to finish today at 33,430. You're listening to USA Radio News.
When thinking about life insurance, my accident reinforced you never know what tomorrow might bring. That's why I reached out to AccuQuote. AccuQuote helps people find a life insurance policy that meets their needs. Since 1986, they've helped millions of folks save up to 60% on their life insurance by comparing the rates and features of dozens of top-rated life insurance products. A healthy 50-year-old non-smoker can buy $500,000 of 10-year level term for less than $45 a month. A 60-year-old under $120 a month. Longer or permanent terms are available. Even if you already own life insurance, you really need to check out my friends at AccuQuote. Don't worry about health issues. Remember, they help me. As a pastor, I'm concerned about your soul and helping you to make sure your family is taken care of. Life insurance is more affordable now than ever, so don't make them wish you'd made that call. 877-437-4781. Call now, 877-437-4781. 877-437-4781.
Rates, policy forms, and availability vary by state.
President Biden is optimistic about the pace of coronavirus vaccination, but warns we're not there yet. Biden visiting a vaccination site in Northern Virginia and again urging everybody to get the shot when it's their turn. About 150 million Americans have received shots since Biden entered the White House in January. 2 men on an FBI watch list were caught at our U.S.-Mexico border.
Customs and Border Protection is reporting U.S. border agents arrested 2 Yemeni men on a terror watch list in separate incidents as they crossed the U.S. border with Mexico illegally. The men arrested in January and March near a port of entry in California were on a U.S. government watch list for terrorism suspects and a no-fly list. One man, age 33, was arrested January 29th trying to enter Calexico, California. The second man, age 26, was arrested March 30th, also at the Calexico port of entry. The agency did not provide the names of the men from Yemen. From the West Coast, USA Radio News Bureau, I'm Lance Pry.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The Senate parliamentarian stated that Senate Democrats can pass their infrastructure bill via reconciliation, which requires only a majority vote rather than the 60 votes needed to overcome a filibuster. The way Senate Democrats want to pay for that infrastructure bill, or part of it at least, is to raise the corporate tax rate from 22% up to 28%. Erica York is with the Tax Foundation. She tells CNBC there are a few things we need to remember when it comes to raising that corporate tax rate.
So I think it's important to pay for the infrastructure investments, but I think it's important to do that in a way that's not so economically damaging. The corporate income tax is the most harmful tax for economic growth. And even though corporate taxes may have been high in the past, across the globe, we've seen not a race to the bottom, but a race to the mid-20s and a race to a corporate tax code that's more conducive to investment. Raising the corporate tax rate to 28% plus another $900 billion or so of corporate income tax hikes would be going in the opposite direction, would be placing us at a competitive disadvantage. And when we think of comparing to other countries, something that's a little different in the United States is that we have a really large pass-through sector. And so if you just look at corporate receipts as a percentage of GDP compared to other nations, we're going to look lower because so much of our businesses take the pass-through form.
More news always can be found online at usaradio.com. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters Media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
she's gone like a riddle in a song, all the way to MIA, where she thinks that she belongs. Poof, now she's gone like a riddle in a song, all the way to MIA, where she thinks that she belongs.
Welcome to What's the Story? This is the second hour, and we're glad that you hung with us, or if you're just joining us, we're glad you're here. And we today is Ed Noel, who is with, what company are you with again?
Omega Mortgage.
I know. I was going to say OMG.
Yeah.
But then I knew they wouldn't know what that
So
meant.
we're trying to dissociate from Facebook.
All right, very good. And also, Lisa Printup has joined us. She's with SpotOn and also one of our sponsors. We appreciate you very much. Glad you could be here today.
Thanks for having me again.
Oh, always, whenever.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's nice to have folks that like communicate with other folk.
Don't find that often.
Not lately.
No.
Not lately, no. Lisa is an account executive for SpotOn, a payment solutions and customer engagement software company. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is a mouthful.
Yes, and you serve the northern Nevada and surround. Do you serve all of Nevada or just northern at this point?
You know, pretty much just northern into California, Truckee, South Lake, but pretty much stay pretty local.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about what SpotOn does and who your customers are. I've noticed you guys have expanded your website a little bit and the base and who the folks are you serving.
Right. Growing, leaps and bounds. Lots of changes, lots of new software and solutions for business owners. Yes, we do payments, absolutely, but we're not just a payment solutions company. We, like I said, have the marketing, all wrapped up in the dashboard. So we have the tools for business owners to communicate and reach out to their customer base and engage with them to get them to, drive repeat business.
Right. So if you're using a solution for your payment system, such as those other folks like Square and PayPal, things like that, this is similar in that area, except I will tell you as a customer that their device that you use to swipe the cards is so much better. It's so much easier. I know
So
that's
much
silly,
easier.
but it's not, because when you have a customer standing there and you're like swiping, and then you swipe again and it doesn't work, and they're looking at you, and then you're poking your.
I have a
putting
tap
it in.
card now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my! You just like
You're right. And that I was
king
gonna
me.
I was going to talk about that too, because all of our payment solutions are contactless, and that is the
I
way
used to
of
not
now.
get into it. Now I look because I have two cards. I have one that does
Right.
that, and if they do it, I'm in and out of there. Because you don't have to touch it. You don't have to do the whole jam
It's
it in
just
there.
ding, done.
I mean, some
So
of
does
them look
the
like.
device we have do that, or do we have to get it? Oh, it does.
Yep.
Okay, see, I wasn't
I
aware.
was gonna say, some
I
of
don't
them-
do it
Yep.
though. So
anytime.
fairness.
So if you look at your cards and you see the little symbol that kind of looks like a Wi-Fi symbol,
right.
that is the NFC technology.
That is
so
the tapper.
That's the tapper.
Tapper, you know about the tapper.
Or,
I like
or
it.
like on your phone, you have Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung
right.
Pay, Fitbit Pay. So I use my phone. I literally hold my phone next to the
Right.
terminal, and it goes ding, and then I get a little text message from Wells Fargo, and I don't have to even open up my purse and dig for my card.
That's
So
awesome.
I
Yeah.
love it.
That's really good. Well, I know that we appreciate the services that you offer, and the thing that you get with SpotOn is you get Lisa. And
Right.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That is really huge.
It's
you didn't know you got Lisa.
I was going to say, you know what? You're not that big. No matter what Jan says, you're not. You are not
After
that
this donut, I will be that big. Or all
I've
those
never seen Jan insult a guest like that.
It's never happened before. You're a first.
It's okay. I can take it. I grew up in a large family.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, you do get me. And my merchants know they can call me anytime. I mean, I sometimes get phone calls at 11 o'clock because I do
we
business
wouldn't do that to you.
well, I have restaurants that are closing, and they may
Right.
have a question or an issue and they need to call, and I'm like, okay, call me. You know, I may be half asleep, I may not, you know, I may be wide awake, but I'll answer my phone and help them. And if I can't, I get tech support on the line and they answer, and then we do a three-way call and we get it sorted out.
Right.
So
You did that with us, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. So, yeah, and that makes a big difference. And I will say I'm not a huge fan of those kinds of services normally, but after talking with Lisa for a while, I really understood what they were doing, why they were doing it, and it was worth it to make the change. And there is a cost involved,
right?
However, you know,
it's
well worth it.
if when you look at the big picture, it's minimal,
Right.
Compared to some other programs out there and services out there, and
the fees that you save and the
Right.
percentage makes a difference
That-
too, and pays for
basically 99% of the time.
Right.
You save enough in the fees for processing that pays for your platform.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, it's a great service, and a lot of restaurants use your services.
Yep.
You guys really started with that, right?
Well,
Was
we
kind of focused on
we
the restaurants.
started as a digital loyalty company. So think, you know, like you go to the coffee shop and you get the punch card.
Right.
And then I hate that because then I lose it, and then I
Right.
have to get another one, and then I have 10, and then I'm putting them together and saying, can I get one coffee with these 10 separate punches? But, you know, with digital loyalty, there's no punch card. You know,
Right.
you earn your spot digitally, and then the merchant has a way to track that. So at me as a merchant, I know what's out there, how many loyal customers I have, what they're spending, what they have to redeem. You know,
Right.
it's trackable. So that's how it started. But yes, we do restaurants, any type of business,
Right.
any type of business that needs to take payments. But I personally love working with restaurants because I have a background. You know, I grew up working in restaurants. I've waitressed, I've hostessed, I've eaten in a lot of them. But anyway, I understand restaurants. I understand front of the house and what they deal with. I understand back of the house and the reports and all, you know, the labor cost and, you know, just everything that's involved with running a restaurant. And I have said this before. When I saw SpotOn's restaurant POS, I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
Yes.
Like, you know.
So we're going to
that's
have
fun.
some more donuts, and then we're going to have Lisa hang with us, and
Wow.
we'll chat with her some more after the break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Patterson. I'm the founder and owner of Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists. At Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists, we take a comprehensive approach to treating patients with chronic pain in the greater Reno, Tahoe area. We believe in the biopsychosocial model. This means we use multiple disciplines such as massage therapy, physical therapy, behavioral health, and medical treatments to treat your chronic pain. A plan of care is tailor-made for each individual patient. We always recommend conservative care first, but offer minimally invasive treatments when necessary. We are your one-stop shop. If it hurts, we can help. We pride ourselves in providing passionate care and making you feel welcome and understood. We are located in Reno and in Sparks, so give us a call to schedule a new patient consult at 284-8650. Again, that's 284-8650. Or visit our website at nvadvancedpain.com. We hope you choose Nevada Advanced Pain Specialists to be your center for injury rehabilitation. nvadvancedpain.com, 284-8650.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with a sun protection factor, or SPF, of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. UVA rays age the skin, UVB rays burn, and both cause cancer. But the perfect sunscreen doesn't count if you use it wrong. Don't need sunscreen on a cloudy day? Wrong. 80% of UV rays still get through the haze. Only use sunscreen at the beach? Nope. Anytime you're outside, UV rays attack the skin, so you need protection. And you have to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermsen. I'm your host. And I am here with Ed Noel, Lisa Printup from SpotOn. Ed Noel's from Omega Mortgage. Don't want to get everybody confused here. But
we do want to say we are not sheeple.
I don't think we're sheeple at all.
Not at all.
Sheeple is our word of the day.
That's a good word of the day.
It is a good word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could replace people.
Well, if we want to get all into that, you could say that we've all been sheeple for a very long time and are just figuring out that we were, and now we're coming out of it.
So do you think that there's sheeple who are contemplating not being sheeple?
Yes.
That's where people are.
Yes.
I think.
Many. There's still sheeple out there, though. There are.
So anyone that doesn't question authority is pretty much a sheeple.
That's right. I think you have to question it always.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you don't follow authority. It just means
I was born
I was
with
born
that
questioning
template.
that.
I definitely
I
was.
didn't have any choices.
No. Great minds think alike, right? We're just all.
It is. That's
we're in an
right.
echo chamber right now.
America Matters, center of the universe.
That's right. No contrary, nothing. We're right.
That's right. With confidence.
With confidence, absolutely.
Capital C, confidence.
Until that individual comes in and says, and they will be there. They will. Promise you. No?
No.
No, I think they will.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, they're
No,
gonna be
my
here.
mind wandered to those 39 dogs that were jumped off at Churchill County.
What?
Yeah, somehow there's like some
Is this a story?
So it was on the Sheeple News, right? And I was watching it, but yeah, for whatever reason, some folks are dumping dogs.
Oh, in Sun Valley. I thought it was 27.
I don't know where.
Yeah,
but
I thought it was 27.
There were 9
Yeah.
more.
Oh.
So it's now a multiple dumping ground.
Wow.
I would like them all.
I know. I told John, I said, I saw these dogs. And he goes, well, go get one. I was like, no, you can't do it.
Don't you think it's all these people under coronavirus who wanted something to play with and now they don't have to?
No,
and they
I
just...
don't know. That just seemed like it just
It's
seemed
very
odd.
extreme.
Yeah,
Like,
that's extreme.
I could see 1 or 2 or 3 or but 27.
Yeah,
30,
that was somebody that either had I don't know, maybe they were trying to sell dogs or something. I don't know. It just seemed odd.
It's
to
just
have.
sad.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I hope they get adopted.
Yeah.
I
sure
hope
they
I'm
will.
not one of them that adopts
No,
them.
I'm sure they will. They got a lot of press and TV time today.
They did. Well, they got a lot of press the other day, too. Lots of social media.
And they're cute,
they
too.
Are.
They're cute dogs.
Yes, they are. Very cute. Yeah, probably not as yappy as mine either. Mine's pretty yappy.
Is it little?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a small dog. But he's a good dog. Never thought I would like a small dog. I do like it.
I borrow other people's animals.
That's what I do too. I just borrow them.
I had a bunch, but my son's childhood pets have left us. And so he wants one now that he's off to college in a year, right? And I'm like, no way.
Only if you're taking it with.
Right? No way. No way am I being tied.
Yeah, I'm just getting rid of you, son.
Without saying it, right? Yeah.
Oh,
my son got a bearded dragon, and I will say the thing has kind of got a personality, and I kind of like it. I didn't think that I would because it's, doesn't have fur.
Does it like help clean up and stuff? Does it eat flies out of the window?
If you put a fly in its tank, it'll eat it. Because there was a spider. I found a spider or some kind of bug, and I somehow managed to capture it because I don't like things that fly erratically at you. And I put it in there, and he was the hunter, and he went and he got it.
Wow.
And I was like, thank you.
So he's grown on you.
A little bit, yeah. I still don't hold him or I'll
you can hear the fear in her, right?
Does he watch TV?
He watches you. So I'll walk up to the tank and I'll be like, hey, Goofy, and he'll turn his head like that.
Well, Godzilla versus Kong might right down his viewing chute.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we digress.
We digressed. I don't know. Where did it's
the
Ed's
dog
fault.
thing. Yeah, it's Ed's fault.
It always is.
We were talking about SpotOn, which is a wonderful organization. Tell us more. You were telling us at the break that you guys have an affiliation with a NASCAR driver. Is that?
We sponsor a NASCAR driver. Are you a NASCAR fan?
Oh, yes.
Derek Griffith. He's young. He's a young NASCAR driver.
I don't know him.
Well, Google him.
I will.
'Cause he's also a SpotOn customer. And so the relationship started that way. So he became a SpotOn customer. He owns a business.
Because they do auto parts and auto repair.
Yep. And he is a big advocate of SpotOn, and he's sent a lot of referral business, to his rep. And so conversations started between SpotOn and him, and now we sponsor his race car. So
you have a logo doing 200 plus miles an
yes.
hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
I'll have to look him up.
Look him up.
Yep.
He's a young and upcoming, so yeah.
That's great.
And he's a very nice guy.
Yeah, and there was something else that was coming up.
So
that you were
I was
working
talking
on?
about restaurant and some of the new integrations. Our restaurant POS is kind of our flagship POS.
POS
system.
being point of sale.
Point of sale, correct.
That's an old Seagram term, right? That takes me back.
I know. And most
I
people
wrote
know,
right here,
but not everybody.
Table tent point of sale for mortgage, right? That was one of my notes today. I'm in it.
But anyway, we have some new integrations. We integrated with DoorDash on our restaurant POS. So, typically third-party deliveries can be a chunk of change for a restaurant to use because they make you pay a percentage of the sales. So if you're a restaurant like some of mine that have high ticket and you're using DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, it can be upwards of 30% that you're giving that company to deliver the food. So we have a DoorDash integration in our POS now. That's a flat fee that my restaurant people can just pass on part of the fee to the customer. So let's say I want to order food, and I go on their website and I order delivery. They may charge me a few bucks. That comes out of what SpotOn, the DoorDash is charging the restaurant, so they can kind of split that fee between the restaurant and the customer. So it's a lot easier for the restaurant to be able to have that service for delivery.
Yeah, so with the pandemic, I know everybody's had to get kind of creative as far as how they charge and what they provide. And
right.
It's beyond crazy to me. I'm not willing generally to pay that, right? I'm
Right.
too cheap, but my son, right?
My
and
son
younger people,
they
pay more food for delivery than the food.
They don't blink an eye when it comes to delivery.
Yep.
They're lazy. They don't want to get in the
Yep.
car. Like, I'll drive. I'll go pick it up.
Me too. The other day I was thinking, I was home and I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll just order. I was like, no, I can get in the car and go. I can go get it. I don't need to do that because then I'm going to tip. And, by the time you're done, my goodness.
So, but I call and then it's ready when I get there.
Oh, yeah, that.
So I just call and go pick up.
Yeah.
Well, but that's good. So if you're a restaurant owner, this is really a good service. But other companies as well, like I said, restaurant and hospitality.
Yep.
They've got a category for accountants, plumbers, hair salons, nail salons, auto parts, auto repair. And we're a printer publisher, and we're using their services as well.
What about teachers, schools?
Yes, absolutely. Churches. Yep.
Yeah. So, and it's contactless if that's important to you. And, well, I don't.
It's just like having a chip in your arm. You just walk by stuff.
I just love that. Just touch it.
What is
Well,
that?
it's just like your dog with a chip in the back of his neck, right? We got him too.
What was that movie? That movie where you had something implanted in your arm and you got things taken out. Never mind.
So,
I'll never remember.
so
it.
about 9 out of 10 movies on Comet.
Right.
Oh my goodness, you guys! I don't watch enough movies. It's obvious. I'm not there. Can't help you out on that.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Right, they go back.
Yeah, fantasy. I don't do fantasy. You know that.
Well, best I know, the sci-fi fantasy is pretty much future reality.
Yeah, but sci-fi isn't fantasy. Sci-fi is sci-fi. That's different than fantasy.
Isn't it the same?
But there's some crossover genre.
There is some crossover, but sci-fi is really specific. I mean, that's Twilight Zone, and that type of sci-fi is my deal. Even Star Trek is, that's not fantasy. No.
Yeah.
Listen to that. That's big. That is a huge proclamation, best I know. We'll have to ask young Sheldon about that.
I don't know.
Oh, right.
I don't know. What would he say?
That's not what Spock said. That's what he would say.
On that note, I think it's time to take a break, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk a little bit of politics, and we'll fill you in on what's going on. All right, we'll be right back.
Call Hermsen Dental because you're worth it. They can make your smile perfect. You're gonna love your new smile. Hermsen Dental for a perfect smile.
Hermsen Dental has a $125 special that includes a cleaning, x-rays, a free Sonicare toothbrush, and a free cosmetic makeover consultation.
Hermsen Dental for a perfect
Call 827-1113.
Matthew.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Social Security is with you through life's journey from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, manage your benefits, and even change your address, all from the comfort of your home. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This overload.
Shannon Lawson here. Join us for the Nevada Radio Roundup, Fridays at 2 p.m. A good news variety show all about the local scene. The Nevada Roundup, Friday at 2.
Wake up, the sun below. Got another road to sow. Let the fire feel the hope swelling up from the depths of my soul.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story, and I'm Janice Hermsen. Was I too peppy?
We were just talking about sugar cookies during the break.
Sugar cookies, yes, that's what we were talking about. That's what we always talk about at the break,
Yeah.
right?
And donuts.
Donuts. Yeah, well, the donuts are a topic, that is for sure. There are 2 left. You have not hit your mark yet.
Well, it's still open. Brian could have one. I've seen him eat one through the microphone.
He might, yeah. But he's not joining us today.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a gig, right?
He's got a gig, yeah. Brian is our entertainer, and he comes on and usually fills us in on indie entertainment. And but when he gets a gig, he goes, and he needs to go, because that's how he makes his living.
Comedian Tuesday night gig. It must be getting better.
It wasn't comedian. It was something else.
Oh.
One of those, host type things. So
good for him.
Yeah. So because he doesn't work a regular job, because he's got to be free to do auditions and all the rest, and you can't do that if you're 9-to-5er.
Right.
So I don't think I could ever be a 9-to-5er ever again. I've been doing this for 20 years, I realize.
Yeah, it would be hard to go back.
Yeah.
There's no way. No way.
Nope. So I brought a story, sort of a story, about, it's specific to Washoe County, about the Second Amendment. And I think I mentioned this in one of our other shows, but I brought the actual little piece of paper here that tells you to sign the petition to make Washoe County a Second Amendment sanctuary county. So what does that mean? The current administration in Washington, D.C., which includes the President, the Senate, the House of Representatives, and a lack of constitutional support from our judicial courts, including the Supreme Court, cannot be trusted to uphold our constitutional rights. This is a group, Washoe Patriots, that's pushing this.
I've heard them.
Okay. First, second, fourth, and sixth are all under a major assault and in danger of becoming completely stripped away. This petition is to inform our Washoe County commissioners that we, the people, want them to resolve that Washoe County, Nevada is a Second Amendment sanctuary county, and that the federal attempted overreach will not be accepted in this county. And do you know how many counties already are doing this in Nevada?
How many?
Douglas, Elko, Eureka, Humboldt, Lander, Lincoln, Lyon, Nye, Pershing, and White Pine.
All of them but Washoe and Clark.
Yep.
Wow.
Have already passed resolutions to be Second Amendment
So does that mean we stockpile weapons?
I think
That's
we already
what
do.
I mean, do we bring pickup trucks like the big earth movers? And we have
Only Ed.
and so we have like mountains of machine guns and stuff. That's kind of cool.
I don't think they want machine guns. I don't
Well,
think
I'm
that's the
just
deal.
saying.
So, the Second Amendment was written to put the government on notice that it is a God-given right to protect ourselves from a government run amok. The federal government does not have the right to confiscate your guns, ammo, nor limit your attainment of these items. I do agree with that. I am not a gun owner. I could be. I'm not against it. I just don't happen to be one. right? But I signed the petition because I believe that it is our Second Amendment right. There's no reason we couldn't become a sanctuary county. If you can be a sanctuary city for everything else, why can't we be a sanctuary county for the Second Amendment? So that was my reasoning behind it. And I believe in the Second Amendment. And it's not to protect me from you. It's to protect me from the government.
Yep.
And that's
It's
what people
all
have mistaken.
Well, and
they say, well, for hunting is fine. No. No, this is to protect me from a government run amok.
This is misguided sheeple. Okay, so
just wanted to use the word.
No,
Yeah.
But for sure, there are folks who haven't grown up with them who don't understand that
Right.
this is about our sovereignty
Right.
against our government, not fighting with our neighbors.
No. It has nothing to do with that. And defending yourself against the government. Yes.
is what it's about.
Yes. And when you hear the current administration talking about wanting to take your guns, doing buyback programs.
Take your guns, take your money, take your living
but they are
space,
actually talking about
right?
taking your guns. And,
Oh, I know.
And Biden, the last I heard, he was talking about doing an executive order to say we can't have guns.
So let's see what
and to-
happens after this one, right? The immigration one worked out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even though they don't have cages now, they have fortified fencing, right? And they're building new facilities all over the country. There's over 20 of them where they're just kids.
Yeah, well,
At least
you want
those
that
kids
story?
can go.
I have that
Those
story,
kids
too.
can go to school. My son's not even going to school.
I know. Yes. Well, Arizona town to declare state of emergency over border crisis.
Yep,
There's
it's
your
it's
story right there.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Mayor of an Arizona town said he'll declare a state of emergency over the crisis at the border. I heard a story today. I guess they were grilling Jen Psaki and asking her. One of the reporters was actually asking her a good question. Why won't you call this a crisis?
Right.
This is a crisis.
Right.
Oh, no, this is just, and I don't know. She talked around it.
Where's the immigration maestro, right? I mean, I think President Biden did a genius job of dumping this off on Kamala Harris and burying her for the rest of her 4 years, right? She's going to be in immigration buried.
Right.
She's not going to have any other. She disappeared as soon as they sent her there. She's gone.
Well, she hasn't even gone there, has she?
Well, I think that's her project, though. And since that time, since he pushed her off onto
Well, she
that
was
project.
following him around before.
Well, that's why he got rid of her, I think. Here, take immigration. It's a nice, easy project. See you in 8 years.
Here's a good story. Mexico deploys almost 9,000 troops to stem the flow of migrants from the Northern Triangle to the U.S. border. So, they've got over 8,000 troops that they sent to its southern and northern border to prevent migrants from the Northern Triangle countries from reaching the U.S.-Mexico border as the United States faces a surge of illegal immigrants from Central America. So,
Do you think their heart was in that? I think that's just like a half.
You're talking about Mexico?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're happy to get rid of people.
Well, but they come through their country, though.
Well, I get it, but I think that, right, the U.S. always wants them to stymie the flow from South America, right? And they get out there and they pretend to, right? They make a show because they want to be friends, but they don't give a hoot or want to spend money on that.
Yeah, well, Jen Psaki said that part of their objective was that they need to work in partnership with these countries to address the root causes in their countries to convey clearly and systematically that this is not the time to travel. Huh?
Like that'll work.
Yeah.
Right? Biden can't even do it here,
You
right?
know, when you read these
right.
sentences, it's like, is that really what she said? It's quoted. Yeah, that's really what she said. That's just not the time to travel. That's just silly. That's just a silly statement. It's ridiculous. So, anyway, she proceeded to detail the administration's larger plan to decrease illegal immigration with advertising aimed at would-be illegal immigrants. Well, the advertising I saw was $4,500 and a coyote will bring you over the border.
Really?
They've got that on.
Really?
Yeah, they've got that on Facebook. Yeah.
So the military could just move over Mexico and acquire it, and then they wouldn't be immigrants anymore. They'd just have them all, right? I'm just saying, it's ridiculous.
It is pretty ridiculous. All right, you want to hear my next story? This is about white supremacy. All right? Because I already wrote to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola
You mean that
got
stuff
my letter.
exists?
Yeah, Coca-Cola got my letter. They were preaching that we were too white. So I said, well, I love Coke products, but I will not buy them anymore.
They said Georgia was too white.
Yeah,
right?
well, they also were telling their employees that they're too white and they need to practice not being so white. So I let them know that, gosh, it really hurts me. But
Did they have a formula for that? Is there like, okay, go read this book?
Yeah, apparently there is. Yeah. If you do critical race theory, that's going to give you that. So, math is racist and suffers from white supremacy, according to Bill Gates' funded course.
Well, of course.
Math is racist. Yes. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is granting $1 million to a group that's trying to knock down white supremacy in grade school math.
So I think we should apply for white supremacy in publishing. And we can get that $1 million, and that'd be a nice lunch, right? And we could solve that.
Reportedly, a screenshot of the Equitable Math curriculum from the equitablemath.org website. So if you're interested in this, go to equitablemath.org, is circulating on Twitter. It begins with, white supremacy culture shows up in math classrooms when, and the focus is on getting the right answer. The correct answer to a math equation is now racist.
Really?
That's what they're telling us. A pathway to equitable math instruction consists of a 5-stage lesson plan. Focuses on Black, Latinx, and multilingual middle school students. Also, the hurdles in education they might experience. By that, the group calls it white supremacy culture.
I knew new math was no good. Right?
It's racist.
New math, right?
Go back to the old math.
There was something about it. There was something about it. Differential equations, whatever the word was, there was something about it. Let's just go back to the old math.
Yes, the concept of mathematics being purely objective is unequivocally false, and teaching it is even much less so. Upholding the idea that there are always right and wrong answers perpetuates objectivity as well as fear of open conflict. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
So it's not just right or wrong.
You know what that conclusion's about. That conclusion's about proving why there's only white folks in like math and sciences.
Oh, is that what that's about? Okay.
I mean,
now
that's
I got
what
it
totally makes sense
Now
to
I
me.
got it. Okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure that out. All right. Well, we got to take a break, but we will come right back. And we got a little bit more of this kind of stuff.
Small town quality and care with today's most advanced technology in the truck and automobile repair industry. It's exactly what you'll find at Dynamic Diesel. In these trying times, Dynamic Diesel is open and ready to serve the community and your vehicle. Dynamic Diesel will treat you fairly and always stand behind their service. So call now, 775-359-4477.
Everybody knows Dynamic Diesel.
You hear it all the time. Buy local, think local, eat local, choose local, grow local. But who the heck really is local? You can shop with locals at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall and search for locals at buynevadafirst.com. We're all local all the time.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, you want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Now she's gone like a
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? And I'm Janice Hermsen.
He just had to get that whisper in there,
I don't
didn't
know
he?
what he said.
I am still in disbelief that math is racist. It's about the same as Dr. Seuss,
I know,
right? I mean, it's
I know.
about as logical.
So many of these things that I see, I think they're not real. Lenora, my sister, will tell me, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, right, that's not real. So she prints the article out and she throws it at me and says, yes, it is. And she's right, it is. It is.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. So here's the exercise for teachers in the Bill Gates funded course. Since you brought that up, I was going to go on, but we'll go with this. Engage with the ways that white supremacy culture shows up in math classrooms. Number 2, reflect on your current classroom practices to identify the ways in which they perpetuate white supremacy culture. Number 3, plan to dismantle white supremacy culture by creating a goal that incorporates specific anti-racist practices. Number 4, act with accountability by carrying out the plan. And number 5, reflect on the ways in which your practices align with anti-racist math education. The first thing that I need if I'm that teacher, I need a class in white supremacy culture because I don't know what that is.
I don't think they have math class there. Right? I really don't think so.
But I don't know how to identify what white supremacy culture is. Seriously. I don't know how to identify that. So I would need a class in that in order to be able to identify what it is.
So I
Because
mean,
to me,
I know
sorry,
I'm,
folks, but that's racist to just even have this conversation.
Well, right. I know I'm way callous, but right, we go back and look at the Greeks and Egyptians and right the beginning of our culture where people started putting things down in writing, and basically whoever did it best, we use.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. Well, I don't understand it. I probably never will understand it. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand it. I don't know. I'm just puzzled by the whole thing. But between the immigrants being able to go to school and us being told that there's too much whiteness out there, I don't know what to do about that any more than a black person can't change who they are. I can't change who I am. So, I don't know.
I don't either.
know.
But,
I'm just puzzled.
I'm sure that, if math is racist, surely the coffee maker is, and the refrigerator, and the stove, and everything I touch. So I'm just mired in it.
I would guess so. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, here's some fun facts you guys will like. I always do my little death thing, right? So
You know you are a hillbilly when, right? No, is that what you got?
No.
Oh.
Remember how I said that all these people were dying and all of that, and I was reading off.
I remember. Well, the Catholic Church was disappearing.
They were. There were like 146.
Star Trek.
There were 146 priests and bishops that died. All quote during the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. But how come that many? And because they were doing this whole ceremony for all these individuals that died. So then I ran across this post. I'm on social media. This one person starts posting, the first royal dies of coronavirus as COVID-19 cases worldwide soar. So then you come up on the next one, royal death. Who is Princess Otto of Hesse? How did he die? And then the next one, Lady Elizabeth Anson, party planner to the royals, dies at 79. I mean, they're just like dropping like flies, right? I mean,
Well, you know
doesn't
who
make
caused
sense.
it, right?
Go ahead.
Well, it had to be the prince's new wife, right? She's
Oh,
causing all
okay.
of it. There's a whole
Well,
conspiracy
then you have from
opportunity
Harper's
there.
Bazaar, Princess Maria Galitzine of Austria dies at age 31. She leaves behind a 2-year-old son.
31.
31. Cause of death is cited as sudden cardiac aneurysm.
Caused by a picture of a coronavirus.
And then we have a former Norwegian member of the royal family spent his last days alone. His parents have revealed in a recent interview Princess Martha's ex-husband completed suicide. Completed suicide. That
So
is
he
an
must have been
interesting way of-
successful, right?
On Christmas Day. Yeah.
So do you think it's like jealousy over the crown? They both have crowns.
The comment on the comment on here is that the royalty is broke, and so they're all doing themselves in.
Oh, really?
That's what they're saying.
Huh?
That they're broke?
Yeah, they're all broke, and so they're all.
Looks to me like new British housing. Westminster's huge, right? They can put all kinds of apartments in that baby.
So then we have Queen Sylvia taken to the hospital after a fall at Drottningholm Palace. So there you go. We got another one. And these are over these are last year. These aren't all right now. But I just ran across this and I thought, I haven't done anything on deaths in a while, so I'll share this stuff.
That was
with you
cheery.
guys.
That was certainly cheery.
Yeah, so it says November 28th, 2019, the Queen went to the hospital. November 29th was the terror attack on the bridge operation in London Bridge. Oh, so they're just going through different events and how they all played out and who was where. And then they go into Myanmar, the coup there. It's just very interesting. Very interesting. So, what can I tell you? So that's my little death stories for the day and all the Vatican folks that went away.
So I was going to say most people probably don't have much sympathy for the royals.
I don't think so. And I think that's sort of what that was representing, that there was not a whole lot of sympathy there. So, what can you say?
I don't know who's next, right?
Yeah,
We've had
that's
the
right.
priests, we got the royals, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just so they don't go after mortgage bankers, I'll be good.
They'll be
Right,
next.
whatever's
Yeah,
next.
they haven't talked about the mortgage bankers yet, so
Right.
that may be the next target. You guys have been kind of peaceful.
No,
right?
they got us 10 years ago. Democrats' names are on our bills, right? On our regulation, they have Democrat names. They should chase insurance people or somebody in the financial services business next. They should leave us alone.
I know what I have for you on election stuff. That was what I was going to cover. Montana, of all places, Missoula, Montana's second most populous county and one of the most heavily Democratic, opted into the universal vote by mail regime, right? In response, in October 2020, several county residents with experience targeting election integrity issues formed a group to ensure the legitimacy of the 2020 vote. The members contended that Missoula County had shown anomalies in elections in the past. So they decided they were going to audit. And the audit consisted of both a count and a review of all ballot envelopes and comparing the number of officially recorded votes during the November 3rd, 2020 election. Its conclusions were troubling. 4,592 out of 72,000 mail-in ballots lacked envelopes. 6.33% of all the votes. Without an officially printed envelope with registration information, a voter's signature and postmark indicating whether it was cast on time, yada, yada, the whole thing. It's against the law to count such votes. So they found those. Auditors also tested a smaller random sample of 15,455 mail-in envelopes of these, 55 lacked postmark dates, and 53 had never had their signatures checked. So there's some more little anomalies.
Light bulb just went on.
What? Oh.
This is why math is racist. Right? Totally. Right there. It's all right there.
Oh,
right?
Ed.
It's so funny.
That's why.
Right there it is. Right now we got it. Gotcha.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. So extrapolating from the subsample, that would make more than 5,000 of Missoula's county's votes, roughly 7%, with unexplained irregularities. Still, another issue arose during the audit that aroused auditors' suspicions. Dozens of ballot envelopes bore strikingly similar distinctive handwriting styles in the signatures, suggesting that one of the several persons may have filled out and submitted multiple ballots. Huh.
What?
An act of fraud.
Shocker.
Shocker. One auditor asserted that of 28 envelopes reviewed from the same address, a nursing home, all 28 signatures looked exactly the same. Huh. Stylistically. Go figure. Another auditor reported that among the envelopes she reviewed, 2 very unique signatures appeared dozens of times. So ultimately, then there were 4,592 ballots without envelopes found in the audit as a discrepancy due to the lack of a double check process. So ultimately, they're saying, you know, even Missoula, Montana, which has no bearing on, you know, all the swing state stuff and all of that, even they're finding problems.
Can't they meet in the gym and raise their hand?
Right?
I mean, they don't have that many
Everybody
people.
seems to think
it would seem
that
you could find cheating when there's
Yeah.
no people.
Right. But it seems to me that if there's no problem, then why won't you just let us audit? If everything is fine, if there's no major fraud, just let us audit. And then find the problems, fix them, move on.
So there's something to them because they protest so loud.
Right. That's the problem.
Right. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, the way
He
they're
thinks thou doth protest too much.
No doubt about it. They're hiding stuff.
Yep. So I say just do the audits, do them 50 states, be done with it. Then we can all feel good about our elections and we can move on. And go to 2020. I'll put up a post of where you can go to. We want to do an audit on everything. We want to do a class action suit. And I'll send you to the site and sign up for it.
Wow.
All right? Okay. That's it for What's the Story today. And we will be back again next week. I promise. All right. Ugh, that's scary. All right. See you next week.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
This is America Matters Media Radio, heard worldwide on the web at americamatters.us and on KCKQ 1180 AM, Reno.
USA Radio News with Dan Naraki.
President Biden is pushing his deadline for all states to make coronavirus vaccines available to all adults up by 2 weeks. Biden said Tuesday that his new goal is to have vaccinations available to every American adult that wants one by April 19th. He'd previously set a deadline of May 1st for states to open up their vaccine eligibilities. Speaking from the White House, the president urged people to continue to wear masks and socially distance, saying that while there are better days ahead, we aren't at the finish line yet.
The virus is spreading because we have too many people who've seen the end in sight, think we're at the finish line already. Let me be deadly earnest with you. We aren't at the finish line. We still have a lot of work to do. We're still in a life and death race against this virus. Until we get more people vaccinated, we need everyone to wash their hands, socially distance, and mask up in a recommended mask from the CDC.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
Billy Gerard here for Ocean Salmon. It's the new year is on its way and you're making those resolutions. One of yours this year to eat better. And you know what? Salmon should be a part of that. And the best salmon is available delivered to you from our friends at oceansalmon.com. Chilean, farm-raised, sustainably raised in the cold Chilean waters. You know, it's one thing to make a commitment to eat better. The next step in that is knowing where your salmon comes from. The very best salmon comes from Chile, and that is oceansalmon.com. Go right now, oceansalmon.com. Use promo code ROCKSTAR15. You will get an additional pound of salmon, 15% off, and free shipping. Ocean Salmon, OSHENSALMON, oceansalmon.com. Promo code ROCKSTAR15. Free shipping, an additional pound, oh my goodness, and 15% off. Oceansalmon.com, OSHEN salmon.com. That's oceansalmon.com. Promo code ROCKSTAR15. Hurry, supplies are limited.
The Biden administration is considering how to handle next year's Winter Olympic Games in Beijing. The State Department said Tuesday that the administration is consulting with its allies in forming a strategy in handling the Games in China with that country's human rights record. Officials deny that a full boycott has been discussed, even though several human rights groups have called on the U.S. to skip the Games over China's treatment of Tibet, Hong Kong, and its Uyghur minority. State Department spokesman Ned Price says there's no timeline on a decision on the Games, with them starting in February of 2022. And Congressman Alcee Hastings has died after a battle with cancer. The Florida Democrat was the longest-serving member of Florida's congressional delegation, first taking office in 1993. During his time on the Hill, Hastings was a member of the House Rules Committee and the Congressional Black Caucus. He became Florida's first African-American federal judge in 1979 when he was appointed to the federal bench by President Jimmy Carter. Hastings announced in January 2019 that he'd been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, but would remain working in Congress during his treatment. Hastings was 84. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The CDC has released the latest on the number of Americans who have received the COVID-19 vaccine. John Clemens reports.
Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the CDC, reports on the progress.
To date, more than 106 million people have received at least one dose, and more than 61.4 million, or 18.5%, are fully vaccinated.
Dr. Walensky tells us she knows about the frustration of many Americans to get past this pandemic.
I understand that people are tired and that they are ready for this pandemic to be over, as am I. Please continue to hang in there and to continue to do the things that we know prevent the spread of the virus.
From the USA Radio News Texas Bureau, I'm John Clemens.
With that progress on vaccinations, California Governor Gavin Newsom announced that his state's economy would be reopening. Newsom announced Tuesday that California's restrictions on businesses would be completely revoked on June 15th, as long as hospitalization and vaccination rates remain stable. The state will also end its four-tiered system used to determine risk levels in a given municipality. The state's mask mandate will remain in place, specifically for high-risk indoor settings. And Iowa's Luka Garza has won the Wooden Award as the top player in men's college basketball. It finishes a clean sweep of the Player of the Year awards for the senior, as he also won the Oscar Robertson Trophy, the Naismith Trophy, and AP Player of the Year honors. For USA Radio News, I'm Dan Naraki.
The following is an America Matters Media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, fellow patriots. Welcome, fellow deplorables. Welcome, all you dregs of society, all you rock dwellers, all you sycophants, all you stinkers. No matter what they call you, we call you friends. You're always welcome here. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show. And I'm Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network. And joining me as my co-host is the patriot from the battle-born state, the silver state of Nevada, and that's my dear friend Sharon Engel. Sharon, welcome back. Welcome back to Conservative Commandos.
Thank you, Rick. Well, it's always good to be here. Good to be talking about all of the things that are going on in our nation, our world. But I guess I always kind of gravitate to the Nevada-centric stuff and the California-centric stuff because that's where I live, right? It's going to impact me. And I know that you found an article about a lawsuit that's going on here in our state once more. The Nevada GOP now has filed a lawsuit on election fraud.
Right. Well, the Nevada's top election official announced Tuesday that her staff has found far fewer complaints of alleged election fraud than the state